The importance of teaching the future in different generations. We need to teach young children, teenagers, and adults to make decisions. They're all exposed. Children, teenagers, adults were exposed to an overstimulation. In this century, there are technological transformations that we didn't imagine before. Artificial intelligence. There are many factors that are influencing and affecting the world we're living in. The future is built today, but it's not built from the present to the future, but from the future to the present. That is, we need to place ourselves in the future so to make the best decision possible. When talking about the future, we need to consider that we will be talking both about the past and the present, but we will also be talking about the future. So, education must be education for life. It shouldn't be just an education that gives us skills in order to act in a specific moment or under specific circumstances. In this world, teaching the future becomes a social responsibility, and it is a responsibility that goes for those generations that have not been born yet. I would say that we need to start doing this with children because that's the moment when the mind is very open. And then we end up achieving a certain maturity. We need to have a humanistic perspective. But this brings hope. It's hope within a very confusing and complicated world. We must be aware on how to create different environments that will allow both children and teenagers to think of the future. I see parents who want children to obey, to react, and to answer in a way parents will be happy. That's when talking about parents, but when talking about school, usually school does everything according to the curricula, but it doesn't think on how to help children to realize that all their decisions are generating an impact both in the present and the future. We need to take into account that we always need to be thinking about planning for the future. And in order to do that, we need to be aware of what has been done, what's being done, and what can we do every day in a better way in order to have more welfare. And we need to be better human beings. We need to understand that we're living a series of unexpected events. When talking about teaching for the future, we need to think about new things, those things that are not regularly thought. And by doing that, we're anticipating ourselves. This is key in order to start working with us. University students cannot do this if they have not been trained before. They need to be able to think beyond, to think of the future. They need to imagine, they need to think clearly. If we have awareness for the future, we can act. Otherwise, we will continue acting now without knowing what to do. That is, everything we do needs to be done by being aware that what we're doing will affect the future. That's why all decisions need to be thought for a long term future, not only a short or medium term, but also a long term future.